Luxury is often seen as material, cars, watches, fashion, and lifestyle. But its real power is emotional. The emotional value of luxury is not about what something does, but how it makes people feel. In 2026, luxury brands are not just selling products. They are selling identity, status, confidence, and belonging. This feeling over function shift explains why people are willing to pay extreme prices for items that often have practical alternatives. In this video, we'll explore the emotional psychology behind luxury and why perception is more valuable than utility. Luxury is an emotional product first. At a functional level, many luxury items do the same job as non-luxury alternatives. A watch tells time. A car provides transport. Clothing provides coverage and comfort. But luxury exists beyond function. It adds layers of emotional meaning, status, confidence, identity, belonging, and self-expression. When someone buys luxury, they are not just buying utility. They are buying a feeling of elevation. That feeling can include pride, confidence, achievement, or even emotional reassurance. This emotional layer is what separates premium goods from ordinary ones. The psychology behind feeling better. Human decision-making is not purely rational. In fact, most purchasing decisions are emotionally driven and later justified logically. Luxury brands understand this deeply. They design experiences that trigger emotional responses before functional evaluation even begins. For example, holding a finely crafted item, wearing a well-designed piece, or using a prestigious brand often creates an immediate psychological shift in perception. The user feels more confident, more successful, or more validated. That emotional shift is the actual product being sold. Status and identity expression. One of the strongest emotional drivers in luxury consumption is status signaling. Humans are social beings, and social perception plays a major role in behavior. Luxury items often act as silent signals of success, taste, or belonging to a certain social level. However, this is not always about showing off. In many cases, luxury is about self-perception rather than external validation. People buy luxury to align with the identity they want to feel internally. In this sense, luxury becomes a tool for identity construction. The experience is more important than utility. Luxury design often prioritizes experience over efficiency. This may seem counterintuitive from a purely functional perspective, but it is intentional. Packaging, texture, weight, sound, and visual presentation all contribute to the emotional experience of luxury. Even small details, like the feel of leather, the smoothness of a mechanism, or the design of an unboxing experience, are carefully engineered to enhance emotional satisfaction. The product is not just used, it is experienced. Emotional premium. Why people pay more. From a logical standpoint, many luxury goods are not necessary. Yet people willingly pay significantly higher prices for them. This additional cost is what can be called an emotional premium. It represents the price of feelings such as confidence, prestige, satisfaction, and personal reward. In other words, people are paying for psychological value, not just material value. This is why luxury markets remain strong even when cheaper alternatives perform the same basic function. Luxury as a reward mechanism. Luxury consumption is often tied to achievement. People associate luxury purchases with milestones such as success, promotions, or personal goals. In this way, luxury becomes a reward system. It reinforces behavior by linking effort with emotional gratification. This reward mechanism is deeply psychological. It transforms financial spending into emotional reinforcement of identity and progress. The item itself may lose functional relevance over time, but the emotional memory attached to it often remains strong. Scarcity and emotional perception. Scarcity plays a major role in the emotional value of luxury. When something is rare or difficult to obtain, its perceived emotional value increases. This is not just about exclusivity, it is about psychological framing. Scarcity increases desirability because it enhances emotional significance. Limited availability creates a sense of uniqueness, which strengthens the emotional connection between the individual and the product. The less accessible something is, the more emotionally valuable it tends to feel. Craftsmanship and emotional trust. Another key component of luxury emotion is trust in quality. High-end products often emphasize craftsmanship, detail, and precision. Even when users cannot fully explain the technical differences, they can feel them. Weight distribution, material consistency, and finishing quality all contribute to subconscious emotional evaluation. This creates a sense of reliability and respect toward the product. The user feels that care and effort were invested into its creation, which enhances emotional satisfaction. Luxury and self-perception. Luxury also influences how individuals perceive themselves. Wearing, owning, or using luxury items can shift internal self-image. This is not necessarily about impressing others. It is about internal alignment. People often choose luxury to feel closer to a version of themselves they aspire to become. In this sense, luxury acts as a psychological bridge between current identity and desired identity. The emotional value lies in that transformation. Why function alone is not enough. Functional products solve problems. Luxury products solve emotions. A functional item may be efficient, durable, or practical, but it does not necessarily create emotional impact. Luxury fills that gap. This is why two products with identical functionality can have drastically different prices. One solves a task, the other creates a feeling. In modern consumer behavior, emotional satisfaction often outweighs pure functionality. The emotional value of luxury is built on one fundamental principle: people do not buy things only for what they do, but for how they make them feel. Luxury exists at the intersection of psychology, identity, and experience. It transforms objects into emotional symbols and purchases into personal statements. The idea of feeling managed function explains why luxury remains powerful across cultures and generations. Function satisfies needs, but feeling shapes desire. Ultimately, luxury is not just about ownership, it is about emotional elevation. At its core, luxury is not logic, it is emotion. People don't just buy luxury for function, they buy it for meaning, confidence, and self-expression. The stronger the emotional connection, the higher the perceived value becomes. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content on psychology, business, and modern consumer behavior. Comment below what luxury means to you personally.